right, we are back for another episode of the Peace and Prosperity Podcast. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm your host, Jason Phillips, licensed therapist, confidence expert. And today we're going to talk about the signs that you don't love yourself. As we get into this episode, you may think, well, is this for me? Is this for a family member? Is this for a friend or a loved one? Listen, this is for anybody who can benefit from loving themselves more. Now, I will say that there are so many different layers to all of these signs, and I'm going to do my best to break them down swiftly, but really in a way that you can digest it. And I'm for sure going to give you some things to do at the end if you find yourself feeling like, oh, okay, this is me. I know, Jason, you hit on some things where I need to step it up in this area. So the first sign that you are not loving yourself or loving yourself to the fullest capacity, not capacity, yeah, to the fullest capacity that you want to or can, is that you find yourself being easily influenced. Meaning you're just kind of going with whatever somebody says that you should do or that they're doing, you're doing it. Now, you may think, well, what does this have to do with me? It has a lot to do with you and how you love yourself, because where are your values in these decisions? Just because this person says, hey, we're hanging out all night, or we're staying out and doing this, or we're moving, whatever decision they're making, that's their decision. You have to have your own decision. You have to have your own thought process behind it. Now, if your decision and their decision just happens to be in alignment, cool, great. But I don't want you making decisions just based off of what somebody else is doing. You can love yourself and pour into yourself on a level much greater than that aligns with what you actually want for your life. Now, depending on your age, your age group, your friend circle, your family influences, or family ties, this can be challenging because you may want to continue certain traditions. There may be some things that people are doing and you feel like, oh man, well, that's cool. But is that really for you? Like, I'm going to give you an example. When I was, and this is kind of going way back, but like when I was in high school, there were friends of mine who were doing all type of things, but these weren't things that were in alignment with what I believed in. But because I was hanging with them, I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Some friends were just maybe smoking, maybe a little bit more promiscuous, like all these just different behaviors. And I found myself saying, you know what, like, no, I'm straight. Like, I love myself enough and care about myself enough to say that these aren't my decisions. Those are y'all decisions, and it's cool, but those are not the decisions that I want to make. And even just along the lines of those same type of behaviors, I found myself having to really stand up for myself or express the love that I have for myself in different situations. Like, there was one time, people always crack up at this, but I was in college, undergrad. We were at like a house party, one of those parties where you in somebody's apartment, people playing cards, drinking, just mingling. I mean, it was a good party. And I remember I walked past somebody and they asked, hey, do you want to hit this blunt? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't smoke. And they were like, Jay, why? Like, you're not an athlete, so you don't really need your lungs. And they were dead serious. So I had to say, you know what? I love myself enough not to be easily influenced by what y'all are doing. That's you. I respect you for it. Hey, you cool. Do what you're going to do, but that's not going to be me. So make sure you're not somebody who's being easily influenced to do stuff that's not what you want to do, but because you don't know or you're not standing up for yourself and respecting yourself, you're just going with the flow. The second thing, or second way to tell if you don't love yourself, there's a lack of assertiveness. And what I mean by that is you're not able to assert yourself in different situations. Whether you're trying to say no, whether you're trying to speak up for yourself, you hem and haw about it. Or when you do kind of start to go there, you're like, people can hear when there's some ambiguity about what you're saying, or they're like, you know what? I think if I push him a little bit more, he might go ahead and flip. So be very assertive. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to, you know, come at somebody and have your foot on their neck, as they say. But I don't want you to be very passive either, because people can smell that. Kind of like, I know when I was growing up, people could say that a dog, now that's what they would say, a dog can sense if you're scared or if you're timid, and they'll attack you. Right? Like, I don't know. Let me know if that's true or not. Where I'm going, though, is when you're having assertive conversations, or when you're asserting yourself in different situations, I want you to make sure you have the right tone. You have the right verbiage, like your sense, your presence. People respect you, and you know, hey, I really mean what I'm saying, because you love yourself enough to do so. Like, because I know sometimes we go off and we don't speak up for ourselves. We got our heads down. We're saying, no, I'm good, or no, I'm straight. And we really aren't straight, but we don't know how to speak up for ourselves. The next sign that you don't love yourself is there's poor decision making across the board. When I say that, you are making decisions that just either don't make sense, so there's no purpose behind it, there's no reasoning behind it, or there is reasoning and you're making decisions that's going to put you in a very bad situation. Meaning, maybe you're in school, but you're staying up all night just because you can, and you're not focused on your grades. Or you're in a relationship, a committed relationship, but you're not being committed. And you may say, well, it's my partner. No, hold on. Before we go start doing the blame thing, I want you to look at you. How are you showing up for this person? How are you showing up for your relationship? How are you showing up for yourself? These are not their decisions. These are decisions that you're making that impact you all as a couple or as a union. That poor decision making will get you in a lot of trouble if you're not thinking it through and really being intentional about loving yourself and making sure the decisions that you're making are reflective of you and the love and respect you have for yourself. It goes deep. It goes really deep when it comes to decision making. All right. The next sign that you don't love yourself is you talk down about yourself. There's all type of negative self-talk when you are speaking about yourself or when you're speaking to yourself. You may say some things like, man, I'm always messing up. You hear that generalization? I'm always doing blank, blank, blank. Or I'll never get ahead. And when you say stuff like that, you won't. I guarantee you, when you make those type of statements, you won't get ahead, because you're beating yourself up and you're downing yourself. And that type of energy is going to let other people come into your life and down you too. Or you won't even be able to stand up for yourself, because you're going to be so used to you beating yourself up first. Be mindful of how you talk to yourself. Be mindful of how you want other people to treat you. So when you show up and you're introducing yourself, how are you standing? How are you posturing yourself? How are you describing who you are and what you do and what you're about? People always say they hate, well, not everybody, but I hear this a lot. I hate talking about myself. Even if they're in a one-on-one session. Oh man, this on me. Yeah, this is for you. This is not for me. But people are not always comfortable saying who they are and talking about themselves. They got their heads down and they're just not, they don't, either you don't know yourself or the language that you're using to describe yourself is very, very poor. The last one I'm going to leave you with, and this one I'm hearing a lot, is you are putting everyone else first. So on this one, it's not saying that you don't love yourself, but what it is still saying is that you love everybody else more and you're thinking of everybody else but you and how you can show up for them. So I want you to sit with those because I know we got into it, y'all. Like the boundaries, we didn't even get into that. But when you put everybody else first, there's a boundary problem. When you're talking down on yourself, there's a mindset problem. There's a self-love issue. There could be earlier attachment issues that we could get into. Like there's a lot. So the first thing I want you to do, if you can relate to any of these, acknowledge it. Say, you know what? Hey, Jason, you got me. That's all me. And I'm owning that. So now once you acknowledge it, you got to take accountability and do something about it. So the action. So whether are you going to start to journal? Are you going to start to get yourself into therapy? Are you going to set goals that are reflective of you loving yourself? Whatever it is that you're going to do, execute on it. You got to do it. All right, y'all. That is it. We are wrapping up another episode of the Peace and Prosperity Podcast. As always, be blessed. Peace.